Very scared.
Alright, let's just go around clockwise, huh?
I have
Guys,
no
I don't know.
idea what's going on, but it's
Gracie, you're
very
first one in my box.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not able to understand any of
Just
that
real
either.
quick, what we do, I think you've all been here before.
Your signal's very weak, I
Yes,
think.
I was gonna say, is anybody else having issues? But
Yeah.
Both of ours just went low. Oh, nope, mine went back to good. Okay. So repeat that, please.
sorry.
We got.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Now I can.
All right. Sure. Um. So let's just go around and just real quick. I think all three of you have been here before. So Gracie, let's just start with you. I can't remember what you said before. What your goals were, I guess, for the last time. But can you refresh us on that?
Yep. I'm Gracie Walters, and I run an agency,
Did I go
Syntax PPC.
wacky again?
Am I wacky now?
No.
Hold on. Let me hardwire in, just in case it is me. Give me just a second. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Gracie. I run an agency, Syntax PPC, web design and digital
Well,
media.
let's just run. I can hear you
Last
okay.
time
Can you guys?
Okay. Last time I was in here, one of the main goals that we had was starting to charge potential customers for discovery. We have wasted a lot of time and resources trying to land a specific job, especially if we felt passionate about it, and then in the end getting screwed out of thousands of dollars. So that is the goal we have actually been working on for the past 3 weeks since the last time I was in here. Was we've actually taken a step back to look at our company, especially since the hurricane and everything else that's gone on, and reevaluate the way we do business and the way that we are approaching people, and making sure that we're including that fee in there.
Yeah. It's something that we're trying forward. It's interacting our discovery questionnaire, which is pretty darn thorough. I'm gonna try to share it up here if anybody wants to look. There it is. Now this particular one is for partner
I saw something.
Is anybody else having
should
issues? Or is it just me?
very correct customers pretty well.
I think I don't know if it's your microphone or if it's the connection or what, but something is not ideal.
This has a good network connection.
Gosh
You
darn it.
just, yeah, you start to say something and it goes. We thought you were playing a joke on us.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I was attempting to try to share a file, but I think I will wait till I didn't do so.
No.
So I was just saying that what you just said is something that we've been trying to tighten up on too. I've got a discovery questionnaire that we just got done going through, which is really, really thorough. That's what I want to share. in the room. Actually, you know what? It's in the Facebook group too. I shared it in there. So actually, if you want to see it, it's there.
Under the files.
Yeah. So what I shared is particularly for our partner agencies that we work with. So some of it, it's pretty close to what you would do for some of the verbiage is geared towards other agencies, but I mean, basically, it just goes through setting up what is the value of the product. Let me.
You are so talented. You can talk, and your mouth isn't even moving.
It's like watching one of those old movies, one of the old, kung fu movies.
Yeah. I know. It's like, well, dude, look, he's like, he can talk, but his mouth isn't moving. You're skilled. Okay.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, he said he was going to come back.
Yeah.
That was so funny. That was my laugh for today. Yeah.
Like it was in slow motion.
I think he's up north, and I mean, we just went through a freeze here, and it messed up a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're having a heat wave today where I'm at.
Where are you at?
Kansas City area.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like 45 degrees right now. 49.
Yeah, it is. We're in Trinity, and it's 45, 47, but yesterday morning it was 19.
Yeah, 3 days ago. No, I guess it was 3 days ago. We had negative 20-degree wind chills. So.
Oh,
Wow.
we had snow. We couldn't open our car doors.
No fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they waited till the kids got to school to say it's canceled.
Oh, yeah, that's always beneficial.
Oh, that's nice.
That's called
Well,
lack
I'm
of
in
communication.
Florida, so it's 61 degrees here, which is nice.
We
We got a cold front too, so.
We had snow. For East
Much
Texas,
snow.
that's not cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard it's really cold in Texas this year. I think, yeah, South has been colder than normal.
The joke is Hurricane Harvey, then below zero freezing weather and snow. Way to go, Texans.
Yeah.
Not a good part of time to be in Texas.
No, but I remember when I'm 30, I just turned 33, but I remember when I was 8 or 9, we had hurricanes, then tornadoes, then freezing. So I'm glad no tornadoes.
It sounds like Kansas City weather.
Yeah.
You get all 4 seasons in 1 week.
Oh, nice to have you back.
Let's try this again. Can you hear me?
We
Yeah.
can.
Okay. It may have had something to do with Photoshop and about 30 PDFs and about 30 tabs and 4 IDEs and God knows what else running. So maybe
I just got the 30 tabs going.
yeah.
I only have 6 right now. Doing good.
So
Hey.
where did we leave off? Did you continue on, Gracie, or?
Oh, we just talked about the weather.
Okay. So anyway, your goal is to tighten up on that discovery stuff. So
Yeah.
have you done anything to work towards that since?
Well, we have gone back to the, before we had talked about the BC Growers template that they had, and I had cut a lot of that out previously, but now we are revamping, and that is actually going to go on our website. As part, we have a discovery form as well that asks a lot of questions, and it's more or less to get business owners thinking about their business, and for us to see how serious they are about their business. Is the first step we decided to take, because if you're not serious about your business, why should I be serious about your business?
Right, and that's a big part of that discovery is this somebody I even want to work with, right?
Right.
Get those this tire kickers and cheap bastards the hell out. Right.
Right.
So.
And we also, we sent out notifications to our current clients that we have. Some of them didn't like it, and some of them, they completely agreed. If you're gonna call us for more work, custom work, we're gonna get paid. It's what was in the original agreement. That is what's in the, what you're gonna get. And anything above and beyond, there's gonna be a fee.
So one thing I'm working on right now that I'm hoping to release over the weekend is, it takes me a long time to do these SOWs and proposals. I mean, it takes me like on average 3 or 4 hours. And so I needed a way to streamline that a little easier. So I've been building a plugin for our WordPress admin to where we can store our default templates and have placeholders. Basically, you just use whatever you want for a placeholder. You just declare it when you set up your default, and then all I need to do is add client name, client phone number, client blah blah blah, and it auto fills everything in the WYSIWYG. I can go through the WYSIWYG and add, remove, change everything, but then I've got a button when I'm done that hits generate PDF, and it spits it out into a formatted PDF, and we shoot it out.
Are you using Divi themes?
No, this is all from scratch. To screw all
okay.
that stuff. No, it's so the way it's set up is when you install it, we have, in your left menu, just go to proposals, and then you have an option to add a proposal, and then add your inputs you want to use, and then build your proposal. It's just a way for us, because I've got a project manager in here that I want to start kind of doing more of that himself anyway. And this way he can do it way easier, and we'll all have access to the proposals, to the templates and all that stuff, and drop in some names, change a few lines in the SOW, and off we go. I'm going to release it to the repo as a free plugin, hopefully this weekend. So if anybody wants to mess with it, it'll be out. Just search for it in the repo. But honestly, today on that discovery, we've got a particular partner we work with a lot. He sent me some real general information. Apparently, this client doesn't want to rebuild her site until later in the year. But until then, can we make some changes to our existing site? And there was like a half a paragraph on what they wanted. It was super ambiguous. I said, dude, you got to send me that discovery questionnaire for every single thing you send us. I'm not touching it without those answers. Because these things he considers small roll up into 4 or 5 month long projects, but they still want to only pay a couple $100. You know what I mean? I need, I need, because we put those answers to those discovery questions in the actual proposal in SOW, so that there's never any confusion. When I point back to that document when things go sideways, we say, this is what you said, and we'll happily do more, but happily give us more green.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things that, especially being in the graphic design and web design industry, is that a lot of companies really feel like we should be doing it for near to nothing. But yet when it comes to them, they want to get paid full price for their services or products.
And that's the other thing where you run into, you can't get them thinking on a value basis. They're always going to see you as a commodity, right? And well, I can pick this up off the shelf at Walmart with a gallon of milk on my way home. That's not how this works. If you can get that mindset right off the bat, then you can kind of eliminate some of that crap. But that's the other thing, where these clients tend to disappear for months at a time or weeks at a time or whatever, because it has to be important for us, because whenever they feel like it, at the drop of a hat, they want to get back to work. But it's no rush on them. We have to hit our schedules, but they don't have to hit theirs, sort of stuff. That's something we just added into our proposals in the last couple weeks, is from now on, if you go 30 days past your due date on assets, copy, whatever your schedule is, we're going to call that project on hold. And if you want us to bring that back out on hold, we need a new schedule. We're going to get to it when we have time, and you're going to give us $300 to do it. Now, if you go 90 days, we're smoking that thing off the staging server. We'll have a backup, but we're going to consider that thing dormant. And if you want to get back to work on it, you're going to give us $1,000. Money motivates. And so, you know, these clients never think these schedules are actually important for them, just for us. But for us to do our job, they have to do theirs. I can't build you. I mean, we just launched a website where over half of the pages are lorem ipsum. And we launched it. And they're pretty close to 30 days past any final due dates for copy. But of course, they want us to QA it and make it perfect on mobile and stuff. I'm like, well, how do we do that? Well, you don't even know what half of these pages even look like. Why would we do this twice? But so that's the stuff we got to eliminate.
Let's see, and that's one of the things when I did, I think it was 2 years ago when I went through part of the BC. Yeah, I just went through their free part training. The BC girls was getting content from clients, you know, and them not meeting their deadlines, and eventually start charging for every deadline that's missed, or just putting it on, you know, hold and charging for it to come back up, because we pay for the servers, we pay for the, you know, all the time and stuff.
And you got to go back to where you were a month ago or 2 months ago and remember what the hell you were even doing. If you're like us, we've got half a dozen projects at any given time, right?
Right.
And we go another month or so, and it's going to take a couple hours just to get back into where we were at. And money motivates. If they know they're going to have to pay, they might get a little bit more ambitious, because these clients just don't feel like it's a priority.
Right.
And they don't understand that without their contribution, we can't do our job properly. But we're the ones that get beat over the head if we don't launch this on their launch date or whatever. And then you got to go, well, but you never gave us this stuff. And they'll be like, well, nobody told us it was that important, or some crap like that, even though you did 30 times. When you've got all of that in a piece of paper saying right there, this is it, end of discussion. There is no more back and forth. So let's hit Ashley quick.
Oh, okay.
So what was your goal last time?
Well, my ultimate goal is to be able to build software, like an interactive type software for patient education. I think in order to generate revenue, at least to get started, because I know it's going to take a team of people to do this. It's not going to be just me and my partner. But I think we're going to have to probably do some sort of, you know, web design or review management or something just to get the revenue stream going, get some clients interested. And then once we have the capability of building the education out, then we can start to offer that as well.
Sure. Well, our goal here has always been to build our own stuff. But to get from point A to point B, we got to build other people's stuff for a while. We got to keep the lights on.
That's kind of where we're at.
Yeah,
it's a long road, and I'm a total newbie. So I just quit my job as a nurse. So talk about a career change, but
yeah. Well, good luck. So do you have a goal in place, or a plan in place, I should say, to start going after some kind of business, or are you not even to that phase yet?
So I just started classes this week for web development, programming, all that kind of thing. So I can get some sort of education under my belt for that. Once I feel a little bit more comfortable, then I can start, you know, drumming up business. I have some leads. I'm also working with the Small Business Technology Development Center in my area to help me get some classes as far as running my business goes. And then there's a grant program that also is through the SBTDC that will give you like a reimbursement grant, but you have to start generating leads for your business. So that'll be part of it too.
Well, if you need any help with the development stuff, let me know. We'll help you out.
Well, right now I've got to figure out how to get this stupid website to post. So that's what I'm struggling with, is this class you have to post to post your codes, your HTML and your CSS file, and I can't get both of them to upload properly. So
What school are you going to?
Metropolitan Community College.
Oh, okay.
And then eventually those will transfer over to Missouri State University. But
Okay, I'm going to Independence.
oh yeah.
Side note, people that go to college for development, for programming, is a big pet peeve of mine. Don't do it, it's not worth it. You learn faster, better, stronger, more efficiently on your own. They're going to teach you about multiculturalism and transgendered studies. What the hell does that have to do with coding?
No, I go through database programming and
Yeah,
honestly, everybody that's ever come here to work with us that's come out of college will tell you they've learned more hands-on here just with us throwing them into it in a month than they learned from 2 or 4 years in school.
I went 7 years hands-on.
Yeah. I honestly, if all you want to do is be a programmer or a developer, I'm much more into the boot camps. Some of the coding boot camps where they just drill you for 3 months or something. But anyway.
Well, I got the Google scholarship for that, the Udacity.
Yeah.
That they just did. I just got granted the scholarship through them for the artificial intelligence learning.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We have a guy that works with us part-time that's doing the AI stuff in school.
Yeah.
Some of the
pretty
boot
cool.
camps are like $20,000. So, spending, $1,500 a semester for 3 semesters versus $20,000 for, an 8-week program, 12-week program. I couldn't bring myself to spend $20,000 on a 12-week program.
What I like about some of the boot camps, though, is they guarantee you a job right out of the boot camp, and if you don't, they reimburse you a pretty big chunk of the tuition. But it is a gamble. You got to throw the money up front. Let's keep rolling real quick.
I'm gonna let you guys talk. I gotta take the husband some water.
Sure. Nakia, what about you? Where were we at last time with you?
So we were talking about I needed to identify my, we kind of started talking about unique selling propositions and sort of what is my niche and who am I serving and what problems am I solving. And I have to say, before I started coming to this call like 3 weeks ago, I thought I had a pretty solid idea of what it was I was actually doing. But this is really me looking like, what am I doing other than like, I want to design pretty websites. So I've been thinking a lot about this and asking some of the clients I've worked with, like, having worked with me, why would you recommend me over another web designer to somebody that that's looking for that? Like, what makes me stand out to you in your mind? And of course, like, not all of these people know a lot of web designers, so I don't really know. But so I've been kind of working on like what my 1 to 2 sentence elevator pitch would be. And I could maybe just share what I've got.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I got. So I enthusiastically collaborate with my clients to build beautiful websites that shine with their unique branding personality and empower them to take ownership of their presence on the web.
Okay.
Some nods, some solid nodding.
Condense that down to I make you money fast.
But do I? Do I? Is that what I do? I don't think so.
No.
I
That's
don't
good.
So.
Anybody
So
feedback?
condense it. Make it shorter. It's too long.
I think
but it's a
it
combo.
should probably be shorter. My opinion.
Shorter.
I think think about where you're gonna put it.
Yeah.
That's like really the UVP and then like an actual like tagline.
I need a tagline.
No, it's just all I'm saying. Not necessarily. You don't necessarily, especially when you're freelancing, have to get that specific with your branding. But it's a good idea to have an idea of like how I could say what I do in one sentence that
Well,
makes
so
a
let's
difference.
apples and oranges on this, right? Because what you just gave us is what I would probably call a mission statement,
Okay.
which can be a little longer, but then you also need that shorter grab them. This is what I do in one sentence sort of thing, which is hard to do, right? You really got to do some thought on it, but it's a great start. At least you have a direction, right?
Yeah. I mean, other than just like I build awesome websites, like I design pretty websites.
Well, what was the feedback you got from your clients?
It was a lot of, I take the time to get to know them and their business, their brand, and I infuse that into the design so they really feel like it's theirs.
So one thing I'll recommend.
I capture that. Yeah, that's like
One thing I'll recommend though is really sit back and think about why these people need a website or why they want a website. One big beef I have with a lot of newer developers or designers especially is they come into the business thinking they're building websites, designing, right? It's all about the design and stuff. But at the end of the day,
sorry.
Sure. These people don't want a website because they want to show all their buddies and say, look at my pretty website, right? They need a website at the end of the day to bring business in, to close more deals, to bring in more revenue. And so whatever you do when you talk about these websites to the client, that's their hot button point. That's the trigger point. The client's always going to come to you and say, I need a website. Your first response should always be why.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they don't even know. They just somebody told them they need a website or something. What is it going to do? Is it going to help you close more deals from your marketing efforts now? Is it going to bring in more traffic and then in turn bring in more sales that way? What is it? What's it for? And from there, then you can start to build your strategy, and then you build your design around the strategy. Because when you design a website, everything has to be for a purpose, right? The reason you see a lot of these modern websites with a big hero background image and a big call to action button is because the purpose is it's not to show you this really pretty picture, it's to get you to click this damn button and set an appointment or buy a product. Right.
Yeah.
So think about that a little bit too, because sure, you're a web designer and what you do is you design, but you know, if you want to stay on the design side of it, focus on the conversion factor.
Yeah.
How are you going to get more of these people that are coming to your site now to click this button and say, I want to set an appointment or I want to buy your stuff? And don't ever say more information. That's another big pet peeve I have. Because most of these clients, unless you're Wikipedia, are not in the information business. They're in the service business or the selling stuff business. That really irks me whenever I go to a really nice, well-designed site and the call to action button is more information. I just want to grab those people and slap them.
Read more.
Yeah, I'm not in the business of information. I'm not here to just, out of the kindness of my heart, give you information.
I came to this website to read.
Yeah.
That's why I came
and that's
here.
not what the users want. The users might want a really little bit of information, but at the end of the day, they're looking for either a way to call them, a way to contact them, a way to buy something.
Urgency.
Well, they want to know it's the solution they want to call before they call, right? And then they want that to know that as quickly as possible, and then they want to not be confused as to where they need to go.
But as a designer or even a UI UX person, the real hook on that in your pitch is, yes, I'm going to build you a great looking website. It's going to be responsive. It's going to have unicorns farting rainbows all over the place or whatever. But the reason we're going to do this is so that we can get those guys to hit that button and say, call me, or I want to see you this day, or I want to buy your trinkets.
Right.
So
unicorns create conversions.
That's right.
Steve Jobs
that's
a tagline.
Down. You said it. Unicorns create conversions.
There's your slogan. There's your slogan right there.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, can I use that?
Why not?
Steve Jobs, he's not the only one that he's the one that I know that has this quote: "Design is not design unless it is useful."
Correct.
Right.
All right.
That's the difference
Anybody
between
can
design
draw
and
on
art.
paper, make it pretty, but if it's not converting and it's not pulling something in, then it's not design unless it's functioning.
Design without intent is just decoration, and that's what I
That's
always tell
right.
the guys here. All right, Joe, how about you?
All right, well, I had a lot to talk about, and actually, when I jumped in the call, it made me think of because I had made a note of all right, some stuff I was thinking about. Because what ends up happening during the week is I'm struggling with something, and then I get to the meeting, and I'm like, what was it? But so I made a list of some stuff I was struggling with, and when I jumped into the call, you guys were talking about the time it takes you to put together an SOW or put together a proposal or something along those lines. And I've been thinking a lot about scalable processes and how because recently I just landed that deal with the dentist, and it's pretty big and it's a lot of work, and now there's branding, and it went from 8 to 12 now, and now there's branding and some recurrent revenue there, which is good. It's good stuff. It's a lot of work, and for me to continue to grow beyond just me and some freelancers, which is where I'm at now, I know that I need.
Stop. 8 to 12 what?
I went from 8K to 12K.
Right. Just want to make sure that whoever's watching this at some point knows that you're charging 8,000 to 12,000 now.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
continue.
and just on that point too, just for a second, for that same amount of work, maybe 6 months ago, I would have charged 4, maybe 3. Same amount of work.
Yep.
It was literally all it was about that sale was that I presented the value and I made that value clear beforehand, and it wasn't even like they blinked an eye, and it was whoa, right? I was like, wow, this is crazy, but the value is there to the customer, and that's the biggest thing is I'm not just setting up my pricing based on my SOWs and the margins I want, but after that I say, okay, this is the minimum I want to charge, but what's the value to the customer and what can I charge? And I go there first. And usually 9 times out of 10, I get a better relationship with the client with a higher price. But it's a lot of work, obviously, and I need I want clear processes and where I can say, here's what I need to do for and what that looks like, and here's the campaign, and here's the tasks associated with that, and here's the steps to get to each task, and here's how many hours should be associated to this type of task. And I want everything nailed down to that amount, and I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it. Has anyone ever heard of Do Inbound? It's a project management software.
No, I just use creative briefs for everything that we do.
Right. One of the things that I thought was ingenious about this, because I was just looking around as I was trying to come up with some solutions to how I can do this, and is that with these, it's basically it's made for inbound agencies, obviously, but what was so smart about it, I thought, was the campaigns. It went campaigns, then sub deliverables, tasks, and each task had steps, with each step having a budgeted time. So these were tested scalable procedures that were exactly how you would go through it. And I have a control problem with how I want everything done a certain way, and it really causes me to end up doing way more than I probably necessarily need to, and out of what I could outsource, because I'm a lunatic about it, and I want something done a certain way every time, very specifically, and and I struggle with that, and it's and so what ends up happening is, and Spencer, you were talking about this before, is that kind of sales, marketing, and actual work juggling is, I can't figure it out, right? I'm either doing sales or marketing, or I'm actually doing work.
I have the exact same problem. I have guys standing right next to me. I don't even have to outsource it, and I have a hard time sometimes letting those guys do stuff. You know what I mean?
I think you and I spoke about that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, OCD about what you do and how you present it, that it's got to be perfect, and you get so tired of other people screwing up. You're like, you know what? I just might as well do this myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know what? how the hell am I supposed to build an agency like that? Really? Like, how am I supposed to expand, grow? Like, I'm at such a loss. And I feel like I've been turning my wheels with this and not going anywhere for like a really long time. I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, you can't build a real business that way. You'll always be a freelancer if you can't find a way
Right.
to relinquish a little bit. But it's tough. I mean, I struggle with it all the time.
I mean, any insight into that? Like,
I hired a graphic designer and I just had to learn. I mean, I had a stroke or two. I had to learn to just breathe and let them take it and have a little bit of trust but be okay with giving criticism and feedback.
Well, my only suggestion would be, and this is me personally, I don't know, take it with a grain of salt. I would try to find a partner. I really would. If your goal is to start building an actual agency, now go to the startup world, right? If you're going to do a tech startup, if I want to build a SaaS platform and I want to go for VC funding, or if I want to, even if you want to apply for, oh hell, what's the accelerator? Did Hacker News? Anyway, point of it is they almost always, one of their big criteria is if they're going to invest in you, they want to see more than one person. They very seldom will accept a single person into an incubator, or VCs will very seldom fund a single person. They want to invest in a team. They don't even care. Yeah, they don't even care what your idea is half the time. They care way more on your team. Is this somebody that can create and do something?
yeah.
So,
And work together.
yeah, I mean, I brought a partner in here halfway through my first year. First he just worked for a while for us, and then it was like, well, if we're gonna do this, I've got to have somebody that can kind of have the same stress as me. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. You're gonna have to share the equity, right? But I mean, you don't have to give them 50%, but somebody with a stake in the game.
I've had some similar advice given to me. I don't know, man. I mean, in the city I live in, I'm not like, there's not a whole lot of like tech or entrepreneurship going on.
You don't
That's
need
just kind of how it is.
Honestly, you don't need a tech partner. Find somebody that's decent at business, right? Somebody's got a head for business, maybe an MBA.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
Or
I mean,
sales.
one of the things that I'm struggling with now too, on top of what I just mentioned, is having clear margins. I really don't know what. Like, I have a pretty good idea. There's somewhere in like the 40-45% range, which is good, but I'm also sole proprietor, so that, and I work with freelancers, but really, like, I don't have a clear idea on that stuff, and it's hard for me to make decisions because of that, because I don't know. I'm like, I think I can pay myself X amount, but I'm not sure, and I'm getting all sketchy about it, and so those are probably my two biggest things right now is my time, my processes, and my finances, as far as management along all those. Huh?
Where do you live?
I live in Central New York.
There's gotta
Huh?
be places.
Yeah, I mean, there's like,
there's gotta be, like, for us around here. I mean, I know we have like the small business technology development program, but they offer classes. They offer business coaches. One thing that my business coach told me to bring on board was a partner, and somebody that I actually worked well with before, but also balances out some of the areas that I'm weak in. The partner that I brought on is very interested in technology as well, but he has more experience in sales and kind of HR type things, whereas I do not and don't really care to. So we kind of balance each other out in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the agency space in general, the financial, like, knowing what's costing you money and what isn't, and how much is a common problem. I think that like CFOs have a big job when it comes to being an
I got an
agency CFO, just because.
easy way to clear that up, Joe. Just stop paying bills. You'll find out in a hurry.
Yeah.
Do you have a CPA?
No, I don't need one.
I'm in the same boat as him. I mean, I did taxes for 3 years. I do my own.
I have been, but I'm going to stop because I hate it and it doesn't work right anymore.
Yeah, this is going to be our final year because our revenue was it's going to take me probably a week to sit down and go through all my receipts and income versus expenses.
So you actually have like physical receipts you're using? I mean, mostly what I've been doing is I just use booking software, and that tracks everything that happens on a card, and I just exclusively
Well,
use
I
business
did
cards.
have a software, but when we went through the hurricane, we spent more time volunteering than we did working. So we had to cut back on a lot of expenses. And since that was a monthly expense, I just had to cut it.
We just had this conversation like a half hour before we started this meeting. Is one thing that we're paying for is Confluence, $150 a month, and I'm pretty sure for the way we use Confluence at this point, I can build my own simplified version of it in probably a weekend. So I think that's what we're gonna do and cut out a $150 expense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think,
Well, hey-
yeah, and that's, I mean, SEM Rush is fucking $200 a month, and then you've got,
Yeah.
project management software, booking software.
Browser
Mostly, I mean,
Stack,
there's a lot of
Adobe.
software stuff.
I
Yeah,
use
Browser
those
Google
Stack.
My Business. I
All
mean,
the
Google
the whole Adobe Creative
apps.
Suite is huge.
Yeah. Hey, let's hit Kendall real quick. Just recap on what he did, what he was doing last week, and then we'll go and we'll figure out how what we're gonna do for the next time around. Kendall, refresh us.
A tip for Adobe Creative Suite. I have a background in graphic design. Actually, I got my associate's degree in graphic design and digital animation. Just get a crack. Just get the subscription trial, and just crack it. It is all for you. It's all free. Just don't update it afterwards because those tools are useless. just get a crack if you're comfortable doing that.
There was a time when I had some cracked versions of Adobe stuff. I can't do that now. Not
I'm too sketched. I'm too sketchy about that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've done it before,
Right.
but now that like I want to like legitimize my business, I'm not really.
Right. Because tax write-off. But what I've done for the last week is got my internship. So scored that. Graduating this May. So we're cool. I finalized my price. I got an SOW template that I'm following. I'm following some other contract templates and just learning about it. I'm actually going to go over it with one of my aunts who does contract and grant writing to see if she can walk me through that. That's my goal for next week. My internship is me working for a small business. So because I want to run my own small business one day, I'm getting the experience of being a small business owner while he's working with them under them while developing a POS system for them as well. And a couple front-facing web apps and some in-house apps. So I'm going to get a whole roundabout experience in the next 3 months, which I'm pretty excited for. I followed up with the pizza shop guy who needs a POS system. He took down my number. He asked me for a business card, and everyone asked me for business cards, but I just created my business cards right now, and they're coming in next week as well. So I've been pretty on the ball of trying to accomplish and take down what I needed to do.
Check out these fancy ass things we got.
Oh man!
Oh, those are nice.
Holographic.
I like that.
That's badass.
Where you get those? Let me know.
Some dude in Korea, I think. It might have been North Korea.
Wow.
We found some. They were actually at a resale shop that somebody left on a desk, and I kept them because I want to take the concept of it. But it's actually a USB drive that you just fold the card, and it goes into your computer, but you can fold it back up, and it's a business card.
That's dope.
Here's what we have for that real estate daily. This is a carbon fiber. I thought that was a little. I think these cost more than our holographic ones, but
Yeah.
I like that
So
clear one. That was
that
sick.
the holographic business card. I'm gonna make a note of
Yeah.
that.
That's
but
pretty cool.
I came
People
up
remember
to
that.
I came up to the pizzeria man, followed up with him again because he'd been pushing me back, and I guess with my consistency of coming to him over and over again, he sees that I'm serious about I'm doing business with him, and he took down my number. So he's going to contact me, I believe, within this weekend or next week, or I'm going to follow up with him again. And someone else offered him a POS system that that he had to install computers and then do some routing and wiring inside his shop. And I'm like, I could do you one better, cheaper, and it's all online, so you could run it from your phone. So
Yeah.
battling with another person out here.
sure.
I think if you show businesses something that can be done cheaper, or something that in the long term is going to be more cost effective, or cheaper, that's going to run even better than what they're looking at, it's a win-win deal.
Yeah.
Right, and that's exactly what I was.
His needs are, he just needs a front-facing site that allows customers to order pizzas and just get notified of the pizza order. And then once they're notified of the pizza order, they can have it on a delivery screen. I'm like, I could whip this up in PHP in like a weekend.
Yeah.
But with that being said, he doesn't want customers doing cards online. He don't pay for it online because he doesn't accept payments over the phone either. So I'm like, that's even easier, and I could always learn how to figure out how to notify you once orders placed and have an email blast or a notification sent to his phone, which would be easier, more lightweight than around what's going on in his home. Also, like the Google Maps API, I could integrate that with his delivery boys. You have a delivery list of people you got to deliver to. I already made a system like that already, as like just testing it out. So I know I could build it for him. It's just gotta get that actual sit down and figure out how to make sure all my paperwork is in order before then.
Well, let's figure out what we're gonna do this next week. Let's start back with Ashley. What's your goal going to be now for the next week?
I have no idea. I need to get these interviews going for my grant program. So I plan on having at least 5 people interviewed on my software program. Can you give me just 1 minute? I'm sorry. But hopefully I can interview 5 people on what it would be that would be most beneficial to them out of the software that we're trying to develop.
Okay. Don't forget, we have a HIPAA Forms plugin. All right. So how about Gracie?
My goal this week is to focus on getting 2 of my biggest projects completed and done. And then from there, we've been working on this lead generation tool and starting these some emailers. So it's like a funnel program and ignoring spam calls.
Anonymous keeps freaking calling me. I don't know if they want me to hack for them or what.
I got one from Microsoft. I know it wasn't from Microsoft. I'm not that gullible. But they told me my computer was at risk, and I played them along. Are you serious? What do I need to do? And they're like, it's urgent. It's very urgent. We got to call you back. And I didn't answer after that. I had my fun.
I know there's this dental office right around the corner from me, and I try to get in contact with their with the owner of the office. I got a business card, but it's more of an appointment card. And the ladies at the front desk were very rude, but I didn't let the rudeness get to me in front of their faces. When I was outside, I was like, wow, these people are so rude. I don't know why. But I asked them about this. Yeah, I asked them about it because I know they have terrible reviews on Google and have no online presence. So I'm like, I'm wondering if you need help.
Maybe that's why they have terrible reviews.
Yeah. I mean, he's right.
You're
Yeah,
right.
no,
They're
honestly,
like that with
I
you.
just
They're
had,
probably like that with customers.
yeah, I mean, I just had a meeting with a potential client yesterday. It was a disc center, so what they did, it was a little bit different. It's kind of like chiropractic, but they did spinal decompression. And I was like, oh, it's a cool idea, you know. And I went in for the meeting, and the guy just starts yelling at me like immediately, and I'm like, what's going on, right? And I get why he was like kind of freaking out because he's just had like a lot of bad experiences with companies like mine. But I could also tell that like he was unpleasable. I'm not even gonna. I mean, I'm gonna send him a polite email and everything, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of business out there. There really is. You know, don't get yourself into that situation. It's not worth it. It's
Never a
it is
win-win.
not worth it.
Do you want to work with those people for the next 3 months? Probably not.
Sorry about
Do
that.
you guys recommend trying to keep yourself like within one sector? Like if you're looking for, food providers, or if you're looking for healthcare related stuff, trying to keep it within that.
I would
Well,
say
if
as far as your sales go, yeah, or building out I mean, there's one thing of taking work, and then there's the opposite of like seeking work. I find that like as I've gone after the health industry, I've been able to build value as far as my.
Oh, Joe froze up.
Joe froze.
So
There
when
he
I
goes.
focus like that, did I fall out there?
Yeah, you're good now.
What'd you miss? Did you miss anything, or
I don't think so.
It cut out a little bit.
okay? All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I was just saying, as I get more focused and I can build out kind of my value to that customer because of my knowledge and expertise in their industry. Once again, it gives me the ability to charge more. It gives me the ability to be more of a partner, and really like build out my brand as like the obvious choice. You know,
You can build some authority.
It's a lot easier to do. Right, and that's a lot easier to do than trying to build authority in like website design globally.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's,
Right.
you know,
Well,
so
agree on that. He thinks a job's a job. If we get the opportunity to build for Joe's Lawn Service, we need to build a website for Joe's Lawn
Sure,
Service.
don't turn it
I
down.
just-
Don't turn business
Yeah.
down.
As far as
Um,
advertising or seeking, going out
Right.
and seeking leads.
Right. That's what I thought. If somebody comes
Yeah.
to us and wants it rebuilt, then we could take it. But actively going out and saying, "Hey, I can build you a website," when it's not something that we're really going to be that into, because I'd like to stay within that healthcare sector.
this is what I'm scared about having a business partner. It's like my vision being different for the company, and then like a year or two down the road, it's just like there's gonna have to be some horrible.
There
The
is
way that
terrible.
we're
There
doing
is
it,
a
though, is
split
we're
Right,
each
I
having
love
our
that.
own LLCs, and then we have a management company ahead of that. So if things go south, we're covered. He can split off, do his own thing. I can split off and do my own thing, and it'll be fine.
There is a quote by Ty Lopez, this guy that I follow. I don't know if anybody knows about this guy. He's a self-made millionaire, but he says you got to be open to change and adaptability if something's going in. If it proves possible, like maybe you have one set goal, but someone could add in a little twist and actually bring you to a place of higher, greater value than you could ever imagined. So don't be close to it.
Sure, that's true.
all
Guys,
right.
I have to
Somewhere
jump off and
I've
go
really
make
thought
lunch. I
Okay.
haven't eaten yet, so I need to go do that before I faint.
Nice to meet you, Gracie.
Thanks, Tracy.
Nice to see everybody. Nice to meet you guys.
Well,
See you next
Bye.
week.
See you
Have a
next
good day.
week.
All right, let's hit Nakia quick now.
Ah.
Mhm.
Okay, so over the next week, I really want to solidify a content and social media plan for my own marketing, because it's all good having a little tagline, catchphrase, mission statement, but if nobody's listening, it's not going to do any good. So that's really my goal for the next week, and also to solidify that as well, something concise.
Hold on, buddy. Almost done.
Cool. Let's hit Kendall and then we'll hit Joe because Joe always has a lot to say. So let's hit Kendall first.
My goal for next week is to hit the ground running with this internship that I have, even though it's unpaid. Well, I give it my all and talk to my aunt and make sure I get all my contract paperwork looked at and worked out, and just seeking a first client on a freelance business where I get paid for. That's what I'm doing. I'm pitching it. Currently, I've been pitching out between medical centers and small restaurants and barbershops. I've been going to barbershops a lot. I realize a lot of barbershops don't have a digital presence, and if I could see the stream of like content of a particular barbershop before I even get there, if I get like the feel of the barbershop before I even get there, like the nature of that barbershop, I'll more likely to go.
Budget's going to be your problem with that niche, though. Yeah. There's not going to be unless you're going after a really large. I mean, if you're going after a 1 or 2 man shop or something, budget's probably not going to be there. Their margins are pretty slim. So I mean, if you want to go in and do a $500 site, then I guess you might be able to land a few, but it's going to be a tough sell, I think, for barbers, the beauty salons, unless they're big. Especially like if they have multi-locations as a franchise or something, sure. But the independent 1 or 2 man deals, it's going to be tough getting a budget out of them.
All right.
All right, Joe.
Clientele.
Wackus. What are you gonna do?
Well, I guess I'm gonna see and consider my options for everything I just mentioned. I don't know. I still don't really know where to go with it. So I'm there. I don't know. There's not actually a whole lot I'm thinking about right now. Obviously I got a lot of work to do with the clients I already have. But I really want to be able to do all 3 of those things at once effectively, 4 of those things at once effectively. And I need to figure out how to do that. So I'm probably just going to try and learn more, see what people are actually doing in my industry.
Well, you got a big project to knock out now anyway, right? That's where most of your focus should be.
Yeah, that is.
How are you going to be lining up the next one while you're doing it, though? I guess that would be my question there.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I mean by that. I mean, I got other leads. Like, I've got I got basically 2 proposals that people want from me from 2 different law firms. One of them is really big. One of them is locally around here. They're DeFrancisco and Falgiatano, and they're like, I mean, they're dropping probably $200K a month in media, and I don't want to like walk away from that, but like, I have to answer those questions, before I pull up. Like, I just take on a job that big, So
I put a website.
I don't usually have trouble with selling, It's the
What's
organization that kills me.
I put a website in the chat that looks similar to what we have here for small businesses. That's where I started, and then they also have, it looks like they have kind of like a scale up program too that helps you. So you might just take a look at their website and see if it might be worth your time checking it out, see what they have to say.
This for New York City or New York? That's the only thing that always happens. It's like, leaving Syracuse. That's where I live, Syracuse. Cool. All right.
I don't know. My experience with that stuff, though, if you're an average everyday guy, there's not a whole lot they do for you.
Mine's been pretty helpful.
If I was a chick, if I was a girl, there's all kinds of help. Way back before I did this stuff, years and years and years ago, like in 2001, I started an insurance agency, and I ran that for about 10 years before I jumped into this stuff full time. I sat down with a lady from the SBC or SBA or whatever the hell it's called, and my girlfriend at the time was working with me, and she flat out told me if I gave 51% of the company to my girlfriend, then she would be able to get us grants and all sorts of pie in the sky stuff. I told her she could shove it and send her out the door.
How long ago was that? Because my
2001.
my brother-in-law and sister-in-law ran into that. But they've changed a lot, I feel like, over the last few years, because there's a couple people I know that go through the SBTDC that are not females that have gotten good help now.
I did come across a thing a few months ago. I was trying to get Dan, one of the partners here, to say that he's gay and transgendered, because then we could have got some kind of stuff. Somebody's got to take it for the team. I mean, I don't really want to be the transgendered one, but somebody's got to do it.
See, that stuff's so loose now. You could just be like, well, I'm not normally a girl, but today I feel like a girl.
I identify
as a
I dress as a man.
Identifies as a boy.
I identify as a paint dropper. That's what I tell people now.
Sometimes I identify as a boy, and I just sit here all day going.
I told them, me and my friends are having a conversation about this, and they're like, "Oh, white privilege." I'm like, I identify as a rich white man. Where's my money? Yeah, I'll steal it.
That's what I keep asking. Where the fuck is my white privilege at? These guys keep talking. I missed the memo or the check or something.
Yeah, man. Actually, I have a Facebook campaign. I'm fighting a bunch of my college colleagues who are all really like gun-ho about social justice. I'm like, there's so much grants and stuff for me being a dark-skinned American person nowadays, because I don't say black American. I'm a dark-skinned American. I'm an American guy who so happens to be dark-skinned. Boom, cuts everything out. Right?
Just don't tell them. Just don't tell them you're a single white guy, because then you're just screwed.
Yeah. Then I'm sitting here, and they're like, "Oh, people got all of these advantages." So I'm like, you don't know how many grants and affirmative action programs are out there to make sure that people with dark skin, right, is to have a even playing, to be on an even playing field, but no one takes advantage of it, nor looks at it, nor wants to do it. But they're out there, so you can't say it's not the white man's fault, because the white man's putting it out there.
You know whose fault it is? The fucking Eskimos. Goddamn Eskimos.
Eskimos.
Creepy little bastards are running around in their little freaking snowsuits and freaking making little ice houses and stuff and whacking seals all the time. God damn Eskimos.
I blame the fish.
Anyway, that devolved into
politics, right?
Whatever that was. I guess I didn't even say anything about us. Short of it is, I just need to make more money. My goal for next week is to make more money. So,
just a question on what you were just showing me with this SBDC. If I were to approach something like that, I mean, what am I doing? Am I calling up and just being like, "Hey, like, I need help managing X, Y, and Z"?
Yeah. Well, I contacted the guy that was closest to me, sent him an email, and I said, "Hey, I'm trying to start my own business. I don't know what you guys offer." And so he literally just said, let's set up a meeting. And the first meeting, he went over all the services they can offer, the different programs. They're linked to other things like the Innovation Center and, like I said, like the Scale Up program. They've got all kinds of mentorships through this. So they have all the resources already collected for you. And then you can decide what you want to take or don't want to take.
Okay, and these are classes, and like there's a payments fee, obviously. Like, what is that? Like, how does that work?
Some are classes. A lot of the classes here, I qualify for free, but some of them I've paid for. The coaching, the business coaching, at least in my experience, has been free. And so, I meet with them maybe once a month, and we go over, what are we looking at this month, and what do I need to have done by next month, and making sure that I have all of my filings done correctly for my LLC, and making sure I got my EIN number and all that crazy stuff that you don't think about as a small business owner whenever you're first starting out. So it's been really helpful for me.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Oh, hey, Joe, thanks for not banning me when whoever flagged my
Who banned
post. Oh, somebody flagged my post the other day.
I don't think I can ban you.
I don't know. Here it is. Maybe you can. They didn't like my
Ban.
Cody. They didn't like my Cody $5 me told you long time post. Apparently. That's
Yeah.
honestly, that's some people go and watch TV at the end of the day to relax. I just start going through the other developer groups on Facebook and just start screwing with the Indians. That's just kind of my pastime.
Hey, you know, I almost feel bad by it, but at the same time, I think it's so funny.
Man, when you're
sometimes.
going through those things, going, I built you econ $5. You got $5?
It's like literally they just fit into it so perfectly. Like you just and everyone and like it's funny because other members of the groups are like, why are you doing this? And they just keep doing it. Like they just ignore it. Like
My second favorite one, besides the $5 bull crap, is the there's like 20 posts a day I see in my newsfeed. How do I become web developer? Learn how to code? Go get a job?
I know, like this would be like why do they think like Facebook is the search engine? Like that's like literally like a search query where you can get so much information, and they're just like, I'm gonna put this in Facebook.
Maybe
All right, you're starting off on the wrong foot there.
they're overwhelmed by the information. I was at first when I started. There was so much I didn't know where to even go. So they're just overwhelmed by the information. Or maybe they can't read it.
Maybe. Very well.
I don't know. I remember when I started coding when I was 13. I was trying to hack a video game that I was playing. That's how I learned to code. I was playing RuneScape.
Oh, I used to play that. So we got one of the guys that works here with us. He's been building a JRPG in his spare time in Unity and stuff. And I think he didn't know Unity at all. He's just brand new to it, right? He started October 31st. And I think about a good couple weeks of that was just learning how to actually use the damn thing. And he's probably, he's got a bunch done on this thing now. Hey, Mike, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, you have to pee? Go upstairs.
What is going on?
Speaking of which, I'm sorry, that's the guy that I was going to say.
Is he peeing on your floor? Like what? Like what's going on over there?
What's
going on at Code Monkeys?
He's just been kind of sitting there in the chair for a while.
This is a strange office.
Somebody's been hogging the bathroom. We need a second bathroom. That's one of my goals. Build bathroom number 2 here. As soon as I finish the bar.
Oh yeah, there you go. You'll definitely need another bathroom after the bar.
Well, we got it built. We've got
all over the place.
I just got to finish the trim off on the bar. And
then there you
go. We have our exercise equipment back there in the crappy part, and then back. You probably can't see the bar. Stupid cubicles in the way. Anyway, way back there, if you go through that wall, there's our bar room. And the foosball table, and the projector, and the PS4, and all the stuff none of us ever use because we're working all day, so. All right, guys, I got to jet. I got some stuff to do. It was a good meeting this time around.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll see you guys. I'm out of here too.
All right, see you.
Bye.
Well, thanks for the advice, everybody.
Are you there? I need to have to phone.